So this morning's walk started halfway across this bridge, the Alexandra Bridge. We're going to make our way to the Governor General's residence, and so the Trans-Canada goes across here, or the Great Trail goes across here and over to a section through Gatineau and over into Gatineau Park. I've taken you through there before. Some of my previous videos and pictures on Facebook and on my YouTube page has all that that information. But from this point we will be coming down this way and up that way. The Trans-Canada Trail, the Great Trail, actually at some point comes down on the left hand side here. You cross over the canal, which is blocked by these trees here a bit, but then continues on west behind Parliament Hill all the way that way and continues along the Western Parkway, what is now called the John A. Macdonald Parkway. So I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna take you further up this way and then out towards the Governor General's residence. And that is a section that was added later when they celebrated the completion of the trail, the Great Trail. And the trail was, I believe, inaugurated or celebrated with the Governor General. So that's why they extended it over there. And it's a nice 2.5 kilometer trail from the middle of the bridge. So I'll take you down there. Talk to you later. Came from down there. So you come from Quebec, cross over onto Ontario. The trail will lead you down this way. And this is where you go down to go to the canal, cross over, and take the trail behind Parliament Hill. This morning, we're going to be going this way and over to the Governor General's residence. And what you see in the background here, let me move over there a bit, is the Ottawa Cathedral. And here, I'll get a better shot of it later, but you can get a quick view of it now, is the National Gallery. So on we go this way. So right in front of the National Gallery we have Maman, which is a spider with eggs in its abdomen. And I'll walk over and get a shot from underneath her to show you the eggs in her abdomen. And again, the cathedral. This probably won't show up well. I'll take a picture also, but this should show the eggs in her abdomen. I'm right underneath her. Today is June 28th. We're just 3 days away from Canada Day, and the Embassy of the State of Kuwait has put up a banner wishing the country a happy Canada Day on July 1st. And normally this place and over on Parliament Hill is busy. We'll see what it's going to be like this year. I'm sure there's going to be a crowd, but it'll be nothing like previous years. This building here, it's hard to catch the whole building. It's kind of an L-shaped building. It was originally the National Archives. They've now moved, well, they moved a long time ago, down on Wellington Street, and then it became the War Museum. And later on, the War Museum moved out of here onto a location at Tunney's Pasture. And they've got a nice, beautiful site there. Well, I'll have to take you guys down there sometime because it's just off the the Great Trail. But now this is, and I'll get the shot later, it's called the Global Center for Pluralism. What it stands exactly for, I don't know. I'll have to do some research and let you guys know. But this site has quite a bit of history, and it's been around a long time, and it's a beautiful building. Architecture is very, very beautiful. Just gorgeous. You're looking at the Royal Canadian Mint. There's also tours of this place. We've been on a few tours here. It's quite nice. And on some occasions, when they have special coins, especially like the quarters, when you go on the tour here, you can exchange an older quarter for one of their new quarters, whatever commemorative quarter. And it's a nice tour. They show you how they make the coins. A little talk about gold and how they get the gold in some of the coins. So very interesting site and very beautiful, gorgeous architecture, as you can see. One more of the many historic sites in Ottawa along the Great Trail. That out there is the Alexandra Bridge, the bridge that I was just on. I was just halfway, just about where that vehicle is on right now. And a nice view of Gatineau. And again, the trail that you see along the water there is the Great Trail. The start of it on the Quebec side. And this is the Embassy of Saudi Arabia. Very, very close to our Parliament Hill. This is the External Affairs Building on Sussex Drive. The idea behind the building, the structure of it, or the way it was conceived, was to look like the Sphinx in Egypt. When you come in from Gatineau, especially, on the bridge behind me, you can clearly see the resemblance. From this angle, not so much, but it was very important part of government, and a very beautiful building, again, with quite an interesting architecture. This building in front of us, mainly the one more to the right, the structure to the left was added later, but that used to be it's actually the former City Hall for City of Ottawa. And the structure at the front was added later. I'm not too sure what it is now. When we go in front of it, we'll have a peek at the information in front of it. But the triangular structure there, and further back, and that big structure, that just frame that's rectangular, was added later. Probably part of whatever it is today, and we'll take a peek. Walking over to Rideau Falls. There are actually a couple of bridges over the Rideau Falls, and I don't know if it's open yet this year because of COVID-19, but there is a little restaurant called Tavern on the Falls. It was open last year. I haven't seen it yet this year, but it's over on the second bridge on the other side there. I'll just show it to you when we get there. This tree's a little bit overgrown, taking over the path, but that's okay. We can still get through. Show you here the view of the Gatineau side on the other side of that little clearing over there. You see a road, you may see some cars go by. I've actually been on that side on one of my previous videos. I was over there. I realize with the noise from the falls you may not be able to hear me good, but This is the view. And over there where the houses are, that's Point Gatineau. And I'll show you the falls at the same time. So there's one on this side, separated by, what you want to call it, a little island, and the other side. This is the New Edinburgh first school. There's the building, and I'll also take a picture to add. It'll show it probably a little better on the picture. Right across from 24 Sussex is the Embassy of the Republic of South Africa, and not the one of the embassies I thought would have been really close to the Prime Minister's residence, but hey, I don't know how that happened, but they've got a nice spot, a beautiful building, and behind me, can't see much, might be able to see a little bit of the building through the trees there. I'll see if there's another better shot through the entrance, is 24 Sussex. It's well guarded, so you can see there's cameras. You can probably see it here, there's cameras everywhere. But the funny fact about this is quite a few years back when the kids were younger, the gates were actually open and we were able to go in on Halloween for trick-or-treating. And we actually, Mila Mulroney at the time was the Prime Minister's wife, so it was Brian Mulroney. And you actually walked up right up to very close to the building, and she came out and gave out some candies to the kids. So even though it's well guarded, there are times when you can walk right in. And this is the official entrance to 24 Sussex. Obviously it's not occupied right now. Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau, is at the Rideau Cottage across the street here on the grounds of the Governor General's residence. And we also have in front of us here, a statue of Elizabeth II on horseback. Obviously, from the looks of her, something replicating a picture or something like that from a while back. I don't think she goes horseback riding anymore. It's another entrance to Rideau Hall. This building here to the side. On the other side of it, there's a little store where they sell ice cream, pop. I think there were sandwiches. In 2015, when I walked from Ottawa to Montreal, we did stop here for a quick refreshment on our way to Orleans. The first leg of it was Ottawa to Orleans, 19 kilometers. Anyway, and you can see a little bit in the distance the grounds. They're quite extensive, very beautiful, well kept. And hopefully they open it up sometime this season, this year, to the general public.